Welcome back. I'm Chandler.
And I'm Celeste.
And this is
True North Terror.
Awesome. Welcome back, everybody, to my first two-parter.
Welcome back. And hi, Mom. She's on vacation.
Yeah.
She'll get this halfway through her vacation.
Yes, she will.
If she listens
to her on the vacation.
I gave her a few books to read. But yeah, we were just talking about Mom and Dad went on vacation today.
Yeah.
And Dad texted our group chat to say things were going really well and sent us a drunken video of them. And then literally within 15 minutes, Mom texted and she was like, Dad's passed out. It's like 15 minutes after the last text. Like, what happened?
He was so drunk in that video. I can't fucking turn my phone around.
Yeah, how do I change the camera? They're like, bottom left. There's no bottom left.
Oh, pop.
We miss you guys.
Yeah.
If anyone deserves a vacay, it's them. So
100%.
I'm glad they're having fun.
Well, spoiler to my tarot reading, I apparently need to go on vacation.
Well,
that's what the guy said.
You should plan your honeymoon.
No. Will I maybe be able to afford it after the wedding? Hopefully. We will see.
You should plan your honeymoon. Yeah. That's a vacation.
That is a vacation.
Mm-hmm.
We will plan it.
Eventually.
I think we'll do the same thing that Katie and Trevor did, like a couple months after.
Mm-hmm.
Just to
yeah.
regroup.
Yeah.
And then go.
Yeah.
I think that's probably a decent plan. And then it'll be like really fucking cold.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of going on a trip and then coming back to the cold.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, go like in winter.
Yeah, like after Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we're back. I don't think there's any more business. Is there business?
No.
There's no business.
Let's get to it. I want to go to bed.
Yeah. So in the last episode, we covered what happened. The Jack family disappearing. 30 years later, a woman comes into the police station with a lead. They start investigating the ranch property. And that's where we're going to pick up. So by the time investigators began searching the ranch property connected to the suspect, nearly 30 years had passed since the Jack family vanished. 30 years of unanswered questions and 30 years of wondering what happened after that pickup drove away. And although the excavation was ongoing, investigators also began doing something equally important. They went back to the very beginning of the case, August 2nd, 1989. Because sometimes the smallest detail from the earliest moments of a case can become the key to solving it decades later.
Well, and fresh eyes.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Those more than likely aren't the same investigators. In small northern communities, people tend to remember unusual events. And an entire family leaving town for a new job opportunity was something neighbors talked about. So investigators began re-interviewing witnesses who had seen the Jack family on the day they disappeared. Some of those witnesses had given statements back in 1989. Others had never spoken to police before. But many of them remembered similar details. That morning seemed ordinary. There was nothing that immediately suggested something was wrong. The family had been preparing to leave for work. Something that happened all the time in communities surrounded by logging operations.
Yeah, like this was not abnormal at all.
No, this is a pretty standard morning. 1 second. I should have adjusted before I got going. The father, Ronald Jack, had been excited about... Oh, shit. That's just the plug. We're good. Had been excited about the opportunity. According to people who spoke with him shortly before he left, Ronald believed the job was legitimate. Of course he did. Otherwise he wouldn't be going. He expected to be clearing brush for a logging company somewhere outside the community. Hard work, good pay. And in 89, that's kind of all that mattered.
Mhm.
Good pay.
Especially when
Being
you
able
have
to
2
support his
kids.
family.
Yeah.
Witnesses remembered seeing the family gathering a few belongings, not a huge amount of luggage, just the basics, clothes, personal items. The boys, Russell and Ryan, were reportedly with their parents the entire time. Russell was 9 and Ryan was 4. Imagine being that age. You're told your family is going somewhere new, maybe an adventure, maybe
Yeah.
a place where your dad is going to work.
Yeah.
You,
I'm sure they framed it as like, "We get to go somewhere new,
yeah,
somewhere
kids aren't
fun."
questioning it, right?
Yeah.
They just trust your parents and go along with it.
Mhm.
And every time you hear about a case involving children, makes it's just makes it 10 times worse. They were just going where their parents told them to. Multiple witnesses later reported seeing the pickup truck arrive. The vehicle has always been described as light colored, possibly white, possibly beige, but the exact model was never confirmed. And unfortunately, in northern British Columbia in the late 1980s, that description could match hundreds of vehicles.
I'm surprised that they weren't able to give, like, a better description of the truck since,
Yeah,
like, everyone drove trucks, you know?
yeah. You'd think,
Like
oh yeah, it's a blah 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 blah. It's
not
a
even just like, "Oh, yeah, it was a Ford," you know?
yeah,
Like, that's probably all I could give.
yeah.
Like, I'd be like, "Yeah, that is" well, I don't know, like, all the car
It's a
whatever.
Silverado.
Yeah.
It's a GMC. It's a blah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's too bad they couldn't even just give that.
Hmm. So while the vehicle stood out in people's memories later, at the time it didn't seem very suspicious. It just looked like a normal work truck. Nobody can recall the brief conversation between Ronald and the driver, but it was likely just confirming that the family was ready to go. Then, one by one, the Jack family climbed into the truck, and the truck pulled away. One detail investigators tried to confirm years later was the direction the truck traveled when it left.
Yeah, that'd be helpful.
At least a little bit, then they can try to triangulate where they ended up.
Mhm.
Some witnesses believed it headed towards the highway leading towards Prince George. Others thought it may have driven down more rural logging roads. Unfortunately, after so much time had passed, those details became difficult to verify.
Yeah, well, and, like, you also like, I was just a witness for a case here,
Yeah.
and when I watched, because I, like, gave a bit of a statement that I watched surveillance, and I was like, "Okay, that's not what I remember," but it was also, like, 7 years ago, I think now?
Yeah, that was a
This is
while
a
ago.
yeah, like, this is a retrial, but even when I went for my first, like, meeting with the Crowns, and I sat down and went through my statement or whatever, like, who I remembered working wasn't who was working, and, um, yeah, like, it's just you, like, kind of fill in the blanks when you don't actually know. Like, witnesses are actually
Yeah.
not reliable, really.
No one had ever reported seeing them again. No gas station attendant, logging crew, nearby communities, nothing, which strongly suggests something terrible may have happened shortly after they left.
Mhm.
Uh, if they had reached a camp, there would have been evidence and people saying, "Oh yeah, I saw a family with 2 kids." It's
Yeah,
not something you would
on a
typically
logging
see on the
camp.
camp.
Well, and I also feel like if you're taking an entire family, you're probably not going to be waiting too long to do what you're intended on doing.
No,
Like,
you're
you're
going.
you're gonna go for it. You're not gonna, like, wait for them to become suspicious or yeah.
Yeah, but that's pretty much the morning of, with no witnesses or anything. People, their information really just kind of, you can't. how do you trust someone's memory of something 30
30 years
years
ago.
ago?
So
You
yeah, they
can't.
like reopened it, went back to the beginning, and found nothing new. Basically,
Yeah.
that's
They
really
tried
shitty.
getting, information from gas stations, nothing. So because investigators believe the suspect may have brought the family to somewhere close, it kind of not confirmed but solidified the ranch
Yeah,
as
theory.
being a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
And if the story of the burial site was true, then somewhere on that land could be the final resting place of the Jack family. Old evidence. Investigators returned again and again to the ranch property connected to the suspect. Specialized teams combed through the land carefully with that ground penetrating radar. Uh, Areas showing unusual underground patterns were marked and excavated. Forensic archaeologists worked slowly. Every object they discovered was documented. Even items that seemed unrelated were cataloged. Uh, While investigators did not immediately release the suspect's name publicly, they did confirm the man had lived in the region around the time the Jack family disappeared. He was familiar with rural areas near Prince George, and he had access to property where something could potentially be buried without attracting attention. And according to the tipster, he had once admitted to committing the crime. But building a legal case based on decades old events require much more than a story. Investigators need to establish connections between the suspect and the truck and the family.
Yeah, like I guess they could go back and see if he ever owned a light colored truck.
Yeah,
But even then, it's like, okay,
who didn't?
yeah, yeah,
One of the most important elements in the entire case has always been the mysterious vehicle. Uh, the pickup truck driven by a man who offered Ronald a job back in August. But after so many years, identifying a specific truck from that vague description is nearly impossible. All the investigators had to rely on was witness statements and timeline, and the only witness statements being within their community, making that extremely difficult.
yeah, because like no one saw them at all after they left.
Yeah.
So they have no idea what direction they went in or anything.
Yep.
Or even if he's like they saw him with just the kids or something, like they have literally nothing.
Literally nothing.
Yeah.
And they're kind of putting all their eggs in finding something on the property. Even just a fragment, it could confirm something.
It'd be hard not to like hyperfixate
Yeah.
on that after it's been so
Just tunnel
long.
vision.
Yeah, because it's been so long. You've had absolutely nothing, and then you finally think you have something.
Yeah.
It'd be so hard not to hyperfixate on that and like put every resource you could into making sure it was actually properly searched.
Mm-hmm. Investigators began piecing together a likely sequence of events based on geography, witness statements, and the information provided by the women who came forward. And although no one knows exactly what happened that day, police believe the timeline may have unfolded very quickly. When the truck left the community on August 2nd, 1989, the Jack family likely believed they were heading towards the camp that Ronald was told about. The bottom of this is kind of brutal. To understand how this crime could happen without witnesses, you have to understand the geography of northern British Columbia. The region surrounding Prince George is enormous. thousands of square kilometer forest, remote logging roads, small farming properties, and long stretches of highway where you can drive for miles without seeing another vehicle. Places where someone could disappear without anyone noticing, which means that after the truck left the community, the driver would have had many options. He could have taken any road, a back road, private rural routes leading to isolated properties, including the ranch investigators eventually searched decades later. Investigators believe that if the crime occurred, it likely happened not long after the truck left the community. There are several reasons for that. First, the family was never seen anywhere else. Uh, if they had traveled a long distance, someone more than likely would have noticed them, especially the young boys.
Mm-hmm.
Children definitely draw attention. People will remember seeing them on work camps, or for some reason, if they looked like uncomfortable
Yeah.
or something.
Well, that's like a lot of people to pretend everything's fine.
Yeah. And kind of the coincidental evidence with no sightings, it suggests that the truck likely turned off one of the main roads very quickly, possibly within the first hour of leaving the community.
It's like the perfect place to commit a crime.
Yeah. Like, you're set up
Mm-hmm.
to just do some terrible shit. Uh, if they believed they were going to a job site, they wouldn't have any reason to suspect danger, especially if the driver was friendly or convincing. They'd have no reason to question him, uh, which means the family likely remained unaware of what was about to happen. While police had never confirmed exactly how the crime occurred, the leading theories of the family was taken to a remote location, possibly the ranch. Uh, Investigators believe the driver may have attacked the family. The alleged confession described a violent encounter, although police have never publicly released specific details. What investigators do believe is that the family likely died shortly after leaving the community, and that their bodies may have been buried on the property, uh, which would explain no sightings if it was like within an hour.
Mm-hmm.
One question investigators have struggled with is why the Jack family might have been targeted. One theory is that the suspect may have simply been looking for vulnerable victims, someone who might accept a job offer without questioning it too closely. Another possibility is that the suspect encountered Ronald by chance and decided to exploit the opportunity. But without knowing the full details of the suspect's actions in 1989, investigators may never fully understand the motive. Sometimes the explanation is simply that someone chose to do something terrible.
Yeah, a vulnerable family.
Yeah.
Like,
Like,
if he's knows that they need a job, like he knows that area doesn't have steady work, they need a job, and he's like, oh, that guy has 2 young kids, like he's the perfect target. But I
yeah.
don't understand why you'd want to take the whole family.
No.
Although I suppose then it could be like maybe they were thinking, well, if I leave like the wife and kids, she'll notice he's gone.
Yeah,
But
maybe.
do you not think of like the rest of their family?
Yeah. Uh, After the Jack family disappeared, the suspect, if he was responsible, would have lived for decades without being publicly connected to the crime. 30 years, during which the family's relatives continued searching for answers. And the only reason investigators eventually learned about the possible confession was because someone finally came forward. As the search for the ranch property continued, investigators remained careful about what they told the public. Um, Partly to protect the integrity of the investigation and partly to avoid spreading misinformation or information that might later prove incorrect.
Fair, but also they don't have an investigation at this point.
No, it's just kind of
Yeah.
meh,
Like
meh.
they have whatever they had in 89, maybe another tip now, and that's it.
Yeah. So for months, updates about the search connected to the disappearance of the Jack family were limited. But the fact that the search was happening at all was significant.
I can't believe they never released the name of the person that they were searching.
Yeah. For the relatives of the Jack family, the renewed investigation created a complicated mix of emotions:
Fair.
hope, fear, and anxiety. Because when investigators search a potential burial site in a missing persons case, it means one thing. I mean, at that point, you know your family's dead, but
Yeah, you don't
you
want to
don't want to
believe it
see
though.
it.
Yeah, like you don't want it to be confirmed.
Yeah. At the same time, you also want to be able to put them to rest,
Mhm. That's fair.
closure, or being able to know what happened. Um, so the search just continues. Another challenge investigators faced was the passage of time. 30 years is an incredibly long time in a criminal investigation. Witnesses age or die,
Mhm.
memories are gone, documents are destroyed or lost. Even suspects sometimes pass away before investigators can question them.
Yeah.
It happens all the time. Or they kill themselves or whatever. It's very difficult proving what happened after so much time has passed. It's not like now where we have cameras
Everywhere.
everywhere, every corner.
Yeah. Well, and like even if they did find the right guy, like it was the guy that they found the tip
Hmm.
from, like they have nothing else on him. He's not going to confess.
No.
Yeah. Like he's not going to confess. He's just gonna be like, "Oh yeah, my ex, yeah, she's trying to frame me. We didn't end very well or whatever." And then that's that. Like they need something else.
Yeah. With the renewed investigation in 2019, police began piecing together what they could about the man allegedly connected to the Jack family disappearance. They reviewed the old reports, public records, interviewed people who knew him in the 80s. Like they knew who he was, but they just
Didn't release it.
didn't release it. While they didn't couldn't confirm everything, some key details began to emerge. Uh, the suspect had lived in northern BC during the late 1980s. He was familiar with rural properties and he knew the remote roads.
I'm sure lots of people did though that lived there.
Yeah, so it's kind of still smoke. So
Mhm.
the exact motive unclear. Everything's unclear.
Yeah. I mean, the motive is not very clear. They didn't have any money to take.
No. Opportunistic, likely. It could have been a personal vendetta against someone in the Jack family,
Mhm.
but at the same time, you'd think maybe the Russell or Doreen maybe recognizes one of them.
Yeah, or they would like if it was against someone else in the family, they would hopefully realize that
Yeah,
like I'm sure the police asked, "Is there anyone that would want to harm your family?"
yeah,
And hopefully they would know. I mean, sometimes you don't. Sometimes, like someone that's going to take an entire family and kill them is obviously unhinged. Who knows what would make them feel angry enough to do that from someone?
yeah. This is all just While investigators have never publicly confirmed exactly what happened, they have pieced together a possible sequence based on geography, witness accounts, and alleged confession. The Jack family leaves the community in a light colored pickup truck. Within the first hour, the truck turns off main roads towards a remote location. The family likely believes they're driving or traveling to a legitimate logging camp. The suspect allegedly carries out the crime at the isolated property, and the bodies are buried on the ranch property. No one else sees the family after they leave. No traces on banks, stores, or workplaces. No sightings, no nothing. And for 30 years, nothing happens.
Literally vanish into thin air.
Just poof.
But I mean, yeah, like if he was like, yeah, we're going to a logging camp, he could have just pulled off into a road and been like, oh, I need to go pee,
Yep.
and then pulled a gun on them, or like literally anything could have happened.
Yeah. It's so just never, never confirmed. That's a tough one.
Yeah, that'd be awful. Awful. Like, just thinking about their final moments would have been like, especially those parents, knowing that they brought their children somewhere they shouldn't have.
Yeah. Just trying to protect them and provide for them.
Yeah, literally just trying to do what you're supposed to do as a parent
Yeah.
and have, like, give them what they need to survive, just food and money, and you're taken advantage of and killed. Well, probably killed. And your
Well,
children, like, innocent children.
I don't see a different outcome to this. Like, there's, to me, it's just they were definitely killed and put on that ranch or somewhere else. That lady could have just been blowing smoke as well, because nothing ever came of it. They didn't
Mhm.
find nothing, and they didn't name the guy because they couldn't place it on him. Not gonna ruin a guy's life for
A single tip.
maybe this tip leads to something.
Mhm.
So it's just, ugh.
Yeah, it's awful though. Like, it's crazy to think about it. I mean, there's unsolved cases now, but it's crazy to think of a time where there's literally no evidence, no leads, like, because yeah, we live in a time now where it's like you always have your phone with you, so that's gonna,
Pinging,
yeah,
pinging,
ping
ping
ponging
ding.
where you are, and there's cameras everywhere. It's like you can't get away with anything now.
No.
Ring cameras on
Yep.
everyone's doors, and to just think of like a time where there's literally no information 30 years later is crazy. It's so sad.
And it really wasn't that long ago.
No, it wasn't. No. Well, that's very interesting. Nothing
Yeah.
is unsolvable, though. Maybe one day they will be
Hopefully
found.
one day someone finds something. How they're gonna tie it back to something in the 80s on a remote community, I don't know.
I mean, unfortunately, probably by the time this is solved, whoever did do this will probably be
Likely be
long dead.
gone, more than likely. But it would be nice for descendants of the family to have some
I'm sure they still have
peace.
family alive now.
100%.
Like, I'm sure
There's
they had
probably
siblings.
cousins or siblings or maybe older relatives that are pretty old now, but 100% they have family who are still alive, and I'm sure still advocating for them as well.
Mhm.
Yeah. I wish I had a better answer for the end of this case, but I really don't.
Yeah, unsolved ones are so hard. 'Cause, like, it's human nature to want everything to be
Yeah,
answered, but sometimes there's just not answers.
there really isn't.
Hmm,
Hurting my brain.
interesting case.
Yeah, that damn white Chevy or
Light
beige.
colored.
or maybe a Ford, or
Yeah.
maybe a Tacoma.
Exactly, it's like
Who knows?
and
Fuck.
even then, it's like you can't use only that.
No, because then because what if the guy was wrong?
Yeah.
Like, I know so many people who I'd be like, okay, yeah, I'll take your opinion on if that was a Chevy or a Ford.
Well, even
And then I look at it, I'm like, you're an idiot.
well,
That's a Dodge.
even think of, like, Owen's truck, for example, is, like, super dark
Yep.
blue, but someone might be like, "Oh, yeah, it was
That's
a
a
black
black.
truck."
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting case. Well,
Yeah. Thank you for listening, guys. Stay spooky, True Northers.
terror is closer than you think. Thank you for joining us for another episode of True North Terror. If you like our podcast, please help us grow by leaving a rating and review. If you have a story you want us to hear, or your own personal story you want to hear on the pod as a listener story, email us at truenorthterrorpod@gmail.com. Join us next week for another episode of True North Terror.